Adhocracy News, March 6, 2017. Today's top stories.
YouTube is now on TV.
Order pizza from your shoes.
And P&G does what P&G does best.
Hello, I'm David Landeen.
And I'm JD Melville, and welcome to Adhocracy News, where we cover stories from last week of advertising, marketing, art, and design.
Now, if you were wondering, the papers we're holding in our hands have nothing written on them. But in all of the great news shows, they hold papers, so we want to be like them. If you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe right there. Unless they moved it, it's usually right there. And so you can know about all of the great shows that we do here on the Adhocracy Show. We have Adhocracy News on Monday, Adhocracy Show on Wednesday, and Fedora Friday on Friday.
Yeah, and for those of you who are here for the first time, thank you so much for coming. If you've been with us from the beginning, we love you. Don't change.
And invite a friend. That'd be nice. Just for fun. All right, on to today's stories. The first story is that millennials, Gen Xers, and baby boomers are all different. We all know, the millennials are lazy.
Gen Xers are nostalgic.
Yeah, and baby boomers are old or out of touch, but we actually all have something in common, and it is that we all love Facebook.
We do.
Now, I've recently been hearing that, all the millennials and the younger generation are leaving Facebook and going to other platforms, but a recent study done by Sprout Social surveyed 1,000 millennials, Gen Xers, and baby boomers, and about their social media, and overwhelmingly, Facebook beat out the competition.
Really?
They were by far a more popular program, but they were actually used in somewhat different ways when it came to branding. The three groups use them different. For instance, millennials followed brands for entertainment value and information. So you have to entertain the millennials, right? The Gen Xers, they were looking for contest deals and promotions, and the baby boomers were kind of had a mix. They kind of want promotions, but some entertainment and information. So they kind of want a mix of everything.
And political.
And political, but this is like brand engagement. So if they followed brands, and they were more likely all three of them were more likely to follow a brand before buying the product. So they would always follow a brand on Facebook. Baby boomers not as engaged and were less likely to comment than the other two, but it was by far over YouTube, over Instagram, for brand engagement on social media, Facebook is the place to go.
Interesting.
And it just shows this study just shows how important it is to know your audience. Because if you are a product that targets mainly baby boomers or mainly Gen Xers, you need to target them in the way that they want to be targeted. So Gen Xers are looking for deals, they're looking for promotions, they're looking for, they're thrifty, they want the best deal. So probably you want to try and stay away from the entertainment side of it and more towards the promotion side. It was a very interesting study.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
Are you into books? How do you choose your book? Maybe you choose it by the genre. Maybe you're into fantasy. Maybe you choose it by author. You really love following a certain author.
Stephanie Myers. J.K. Rowling.
And others still yet look for voices.
Yes.
Now, this is a campaign that Amazon's Audible just started, and they're looking to entice you into the books by the voices of the people who actually voice the books. You may have seen during the Academy Awards that this is where this ad campaign first aired. These had things like Claire Danes performing Les Miserables, Victor Bavine performs Pebble in the Sky, Jim Dale doing Harry Potter. They're all very quick clips. So if you saw the Academy Awards, you saw one or two of them. They actually have a large list. They probably have 20 or some of these little clips. The other thing that was really funny about this, first they're definitely hitting on the right vein of things where here are people being honored for performing, voice performers for books. I'm actually one that loves audiobooks. I listen to them all the time.
Oh, I listen to them all the time too, and I will be the first to say that the voice can make or break the book. It could be an amazing book read by the wrong person. It's terrible.
I've also listened to other books because of the person who performed.
Oh yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, I mean
they're hitting right.
The reason I listened to Peter and the Starcatchers was because Jim Dale was the reader, and I love Jim Dale. He's so good.
He is. One of the things also with this, especially knowing the audience of the Academy Awards, they're reading little clips of these books. And in the books, the clips seem to be pointing to something political. Each one has a little bit, like the one that's being read about the life of Pi, it says,
"If there's only one nation in the sky, shouldn't all passports be valid for it?"
Very, very politically charged. So it was very right place, right time, right message.
Wow. Well, if you were paying attention this last week, there was a huge announcement made by YouTube. Now, seeing as we're on YouTube, we pay attention, and it was YouTube has started YouTube TV. YouTube TV is a $35 subscription that will allow you to watch television channels live. It's through YouTube. So it'll have the big four networks, NBC, CBS, Fox, and ABC, along with ESPN and other big cable networks. It's very similar to Sling TV and some of these other ones, but YouTube being as large a platform as it is, I feel like this is a big game changer. Now, along with YouTube TV, those channels, you also get unlimited DVR, so you can record multiple things, and as much as you want. You can also have up to 6 users and be watching on 3 screens at the same time. Like, not you personally, like I don't think you'd be watching on 3 screens, but like you and like 2 other people can be watching at the same time.
That's nice.
Like, on different screens. So YouTube, like, it's one of these things where it's a very reasonable price.
They kind of blow out the offering out of the water. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and it's actually quite a few. They had they had Disney. They had and you've actually even included YouTube Red, which, you know, I guess if I ever get YouTube Red, this will probably be the way I get it. But unless, you know, we are eventually on YouTube Red, then I guess I'll watch our show. But it's one of these things where I feel like it could be a game changer. I feel like this could be something that changes the market that other, like, especially cable companies, need to start paying attention and figuring out how they're going to compete with these, because cord cutters are loving it. And
that's the thing, is that you have a lot of people who are jumping into the content creation side of things. I think it was AOL who just announced that they are getting into the media game.
There's been rumors about Apple trying to jump into their...
Yeah, actually creating the stuff, but provider-wise, I mean, it's either cable or you're going to want either each network's, you know, streaming service or some kind of combination like Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah, so they haven't announced the release date for this yet, but they do have a website you can go to sign up to learn more. We'll have that in the description below if you're interested in that. Now, all YouTube needs to do is figure out how to give affordable internet, and they've got it made.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, I guess Google Fiber tried that, but anyway. So,
all right. Now, by now you've heard of the Netflix series Abstract, The Art of Design. It's a wonderful series, very artsy. Sometimes maybe the filmmakers were a little too transparent on their side of things, I feel. But you've probably watched the one, it's the second episode in, it's Tinker Hatfield. Now, he is one of the mad scientists behind Nike and Nike shoes, and the way that, you know...
We covered him on our episode about Kubo and the Two Strings and the shoes.
Yeah, we talked about he got to revisit the Air Jordan 15s, which people hated, but
hey,
he got to revisit them and redo them for this. So, so you've probably seen all that. He's the mad scientist. He makes sure that, like, you know, he was finding ways that to make a shoe so that Michael Jordan's foot wouldn't roll, and I mean, he's actually also involved in the Earl project, which is the self-tightening laces. It's a little motor in there that basically tightens the shoe as you're walking, and then when you sit down, it kind of lets go a little. Some pretty cool stuff. So there's a lot of really nice advancements in shoes. But one thing that you may not have really thought of, or, you know, one advancement that we are going to get is being able to order pizza from your shoes.
What everybody's been asking for.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the one that everybody's been asking for from the beginning.
So Pizza Hut released some images of their concept pie tops.
Oh,
like
high tops, pie tops.
A lot like the old pumps, the air pumps, where you'd kind of squeeze in the air, like it would suck in the air and make them tighter. In the pie tops, you'll actually be able to press the little tongue.
Uh-huh.
It will order pizza for you, and you can actually, like, depending on what kind of pizza you want, you can kind of
That's
cycle
like a code.
through. Yeah, you can just kind of click through, and Supreme, Hawaiian, whatever.
Now, do this through like Wi-Fi or like I'm just saying, like if I'm on a run.
Yeah.
If I'm on a run and I'm like, oh man, I could really use pizza right now. Can I just like?
Yeah, there's all sorts of like it does it through Bluetooth to your phone.
Oh, to your phone.
One of the things that they're showing is that there are many ways to order pizza from Pizza Hut. You can order it from apps, from phones, from your computer, from all sorts of TV apps. You can basically order pizza anywhere, especially on your shoes. And this is also coming as a precursor to their sponsorship of the NCAA March Madness tournament. So that's coming up. So you'll actually see these come out later this month. They're currently giving them only right now to influencers, good friends of Pizza Hut. I didn't know that. I don't know.
We should become good friends with Pizza Hut.
Right? Get some high tops.
We influence like 30 people a week.
They said that they may have some later for consumers later in the month after all of the hype.
So is it used like, I know like they have those Tide buttons or like the Amazon buttons. Is it kind of similar to that where?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
They do have safeguards and other things to make sure that like you don't over order or like
your kid that finds the shoe and just starts pumping it.
Yeah. You're gonna like show up like with
30
pizzas.
pizzas. Yeah.
So sneakerheads, I'm sure you already know about this, so this is probably nothing news for anyone who's a sneakerhead, but they'll probably be eating these up and grabbing them just because they are limited edition.
Well, that sounds like a cheesy offer to me.
That's bad.
All right. Last, we want to cover P&G's, well, what P&G does best. Like P&G, the company that brought you those amazing Olympic commercials about moms.
They make you cry every time.
Yeah, they do. They recently released a new commercial for International Women's Day, which happens on Wednesday, March 8th. And it's called #WeSeeEqual. And it's about, they're covering gender equality. The ad is really awesome. It features phrases such as science doesn't care who studies it, fears don't care who conquer them. It has pictures of people conquering fears, and obviously they're women. It has like, I think there's one like hugs don't care who gives them, and it's about stop looking at who is doing it, look at what's being done, and it's a really powerful commercial. One thing that I found that was interesting was that the campaign was done by Badger and Winters. And they're behind another campaign called Women Not Objects campaign. It was all about how advertising objectifies women, and we need to stop that. So the interesting thing is that the past few years, P&G found that. So I don't know if you remember, Always Like a Girl. It's about what does it mean to punch like a girl? What does it mean to run like a girl?
Oh yeah.
And they said that
had some of those big stars that were like heavy hitters. Shows the girl like punching the punching bag and stuff.
Yeah, well, it also had this like the little girl. I also had the little girl who was like, they would ask her, and she would like, just do however she would normally run or how she would normally punch. Anyway, so after that commercial, they said that 76% of consumers now think of like a girl to be a positive expression, whereas before only 19% saw it as positive. So it actually did change the conversation and change how people saw this. So they're hoping that We See Equal can also influence the society and how we view different things.
Yeah. Well, and make sure that you join us on our Wednesday episode. This kind of relates to it. It's International Women's Day. And we're actually going to be covering a couple of women in marketing, advertising, art, and design that have made a giant influence and changed things pretty substantially.
We want to thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. If you're one of those people that disliked this episode because you didn't like the stories, well, you know what you should do? you should go on our Facebook page and post stories that we should be covering.
Yeah, let us know what stories we should be covering. We're on all the different social medias, some of them. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. We're not on all of them.
We're not on all of them. Yeah. Join us over there. Let us know what stories we should cover and what things that you might be seeing out there.
And now, to finish this episode, because as we all know, Mondays are hard, here's a great video for you to watch. That was really well. Yeah.